In 1939, as 22,000 Nazis occupied Madison Square Garden, the RSS's own guru penned a manifesto praising the Nazi purging of German Jews as a wonderful example to emulate in India. 2 continents the same year and an identical appetite for purging a country of the wrong kind of people. And this week, 87 years after American Nazis claimed the stage of the most famous arena in the United States of America, India's Nazis will walk in their footsteps. Founded in 1925, the RSS is the world's oldest, largest, and fastest growing fascist paramilitary. And it has spent a century devoted to a blitzkrieg mission to remaking India in its Hindu nationalist image and to building the kind of fatherland that their guru wanted, one where Muslims and Christians live as guests or don't live at all. 6 million uniformed men who answer to no one but their supreme leader, Mohan Bhagwat, whose victory tour celebrating the paramilitary's first 100 years will stage its grandest spectacle at Madison Square Garden on the 29th of August. And they have built their fatherland fantasy on a foundation of corpses from the first, starting with the original act of terrorism in independent India, the assassination of Gandhi by an RSS member. India moved to crush the paramilitary inside of a week, and the Home Minister who signed that ban warned that their speeches were full of communal poison, that the poison had cost that country the life of Gandhi, and that after Gandhi was murdered, the RSS handed out sweets. Well, the RSS's fingers must be sticky by now from all of the sweets they have distributed over the decades, because they have perpetrated more than a dozen pogroms in the century since they assassinated Gandhi, and their stormtroopers keep smashing down doors across India to drag families into the streets and slaughter them there, hunting Christians through their villages while they torch the churches and gut the orphanages, raping nuns and burning missionaries alive. In Gujarat, they gang-raped Muslim women in the road and set them on fire, hacked children apart in front of their mothers, and burned whole families alive inside their homes, butchering 2,000 in just 3 days. And they did not just slaughter Gujarat's Muslims. They turned them into such a rarity that they're practically a rumor, which Mayor Mamdani knows all too well, because when he tells people that his father's family are Gujarati Muslims, he says that they're shocked that there are still any left at all after what the RSS did to them. That is the movement which has entranced Western fascists from its origins to the present day. Anders Breivik, the most lethal white nationalist terrorist of the 21st century, called on Hindu nationalists and white nationalists to learn from each other and cooperate as much as possible because their goals are, in his words, more or less identical. And the RSS has been jumping into bed with its Western counterparts ever since, sending its leaders here to slip under the sheets with the supremacists who are trying to remake our country along religious nationalist lines. It's a mutual admiration society, naturally, because white nationalism and Hindu nationalism are 2 sides of the same goddamn coin. And God knows we already have enough trouble with our own fascists without importing anybody else's. Yet India's fascists arrive in disguise, because the RSS cloaks its legacy of death in the rhetoric of universal oneness. And their chief is coming here specifically to launder 100 years of butchery on the most famous stage in America. And yet the blood drenching the RSS's hands will stain everyone who welcomes them, which is why Madison Square Garden must yank the red carpet out from under the brown shirts of India. Cancel the rally before the RSS poisons the Big Apple and then tries to hoodwink us by pageantry into taking a bite of that poisoned apple so that we slip into the slumber of universal oneness as Mohan Bhagwat presides over a vile spectacle of fascism.